My name is Sandi Herrera, and my company is Humanize EDU that my sister and I founded together a couple of years ago as a culmination of both of our work, and we merged our companies as a result of one of our Wealth Dynamics Masters sessions. And so I've actually been a part of Roger's community for about 20 years now. And for the last 10 years, I've been intimately involved, starting with joining, what was the program at that time? It was a performance consultant training back in 2015. And I had a trip scheduled to Bali, and I was like, well, I'm going to reach out to Roger. He had talked about Vision Villas, a few years prior, and reached out to him on YouTube actually and said, hey, I'm going to be in Bali at this time. I'd love to grab coffee or whatever. He connected me with Penny and said, why don't you just come? We're running a training, and the dates coincided with the end of the women's retreat that I was at. And then he asked me to join Crystal Circle, and it's been an epic adventure ever since. So what drew me to Wealth Dynamics Masters at this point in my journey is really just this next level of growth and evolution for our business and the movement that we're creating to really bring the human back to the center of education, and doing that through the innovative AI tools as well as the human-centered curriculum that we've designed and developed. And so being here with a group of global entrepreneurs has really just been an amazing opportunity. And so we know that this community gives us that next level of thinking, and Roger's mentorship, along with the rest of the mentors, just challenges us to think differently in a way that actually allows us to be in flow and create ease and abundance. The experience has deepened my understanding and more so my integration of values-based leadership, just always coming back to my center and what is most true for me and my own personal purpose, my own personal why, and being anchored in that and who I truly am as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a whole human, and really just being surrounded by others who are on that same journey and knowing that we're not alone. I think the biggest breakthrough for me at this point is really to think in terms of 10x. And every other year throughout my mentorship with Roger has really been about this incremental growth. And this time it's like, well, why not 10x? Why not, instead of thinking about $1 million business, thinking about a $10 million business? And how does that actually challenge my thinking differently to then grow through the $1 million business level and actually begin to integrate some of the strategies from that higher level thinking? I think the frameworks and tools that come from Masters really just integrate into the overall well-being of a system. So when we think about culture and we think about education and we think about that learning environment, that holistic environment, all of the practices and tools that we're learning here at Masters allow us to think differently. When we think about the traditional system of education and how things are taught and the way that we've been quote unquote programmed throughout our lives, every tool at Masters really applies to the integration of psychologically safe, thriving working and learning environments in our schools that really starts from the inside out. And that's really the journey of Masters, is from the inside out. The Genius community is just this powerful group of humans, right? We come from all different walks of life, all around the world, and we come together in this safe space. And I felt that 20 years ago at my very first event with Roger Hamilton. It's just this immediate sense of trust that's established because you're all there for a common purpose, to make the world a better place. And so knowing that, and it just creates this robust learning environment from there that really is a good model for how our future learning environments get to be. This container of the Genius Group as a whole, not even just Wealth Dynamics Masters, really allows us to, one, not feel alone on the journey. Being an entrepreneur can be a super lonely journey. And two, it's an opportunity to just witness what's happening in others, whether it's a place in the journey you've already been and you're like, oh, I remember that, or a place where you're in a similar spot along the way with other entrepreneurs going, oh, I'm doing that too. Or it's someone who's actually gone beyond the level that you're at going, okay, I get it. Thank you for giving me the thinking to accelerate my next step in this pathway. And it's it's really just this ecosystem where we're all here to support each other, and there's nothing about competition. It's all about collaboration. It's all about, everyone's on their own path, and how can we serve and support each other. Values-based work is the core of everything that I do as a human, as an entrepreneur, as a thought leader in the world of education and culture transformation. Everything comes back to our core values. And so if someone's really struggling with living in alignment with the values, whether it's at their workplace, at their school, or even with trying to find their purpose, it's a beautiful practice to just pause and go within and articulate your individual core values and what speaks most beautifully to you, that makes you feel alive, or when it's not at play, pisses you off. And then realign and then align those to your goals so that you can feel that rhythm and that flow for yourself as a whole human. It's not about just one environment. It's about truly setting yourself up to be able to be your most authentic self no matter where you are. Anything that incorporates Roger's mentoring gives you this up-leveling of your whole life. And I would just say, take the leap of faith. When Roger first invited me into Crystal Circle, I remember showing up at the breakfast meeting, and I happened to be showing up at a time where the seat that was available was in the sunshine, and he looked at me and said, "Are you going to be okay in the light?" And at that time, the metaphor was lost on me in the moment, but later, once I had an opportunity to go hike one of the volcanoes here, and recognizing that that was the invitation from the universe to really actually step into my zone of genius. And Roger sees within you what you can't see within yourself. And so to allow a mentor like him and the others that we're surrounded by here as part of the Genius Group is just really a special gift.